Hey guys, welcome to Stream Space. Welcome back if you've been here before. We are here to do our kind of end of the year gaming pickup video. Now, we have been a little bit late on gaming pickups this year. It's been a rough year. So, with all that in consideration, we haven't been able to get as many games as we wanted. So, this is kind of a combination of the last couple months worth of pickups, stopping here and there, but also some of our Christmas pickups are in there. And I have left that upstairs. I'm going to mention it, but I'm not going to go up and get it because it's like all the way up there. Anyways, let's get this party started. So we're going to kick it off with the Nintendo stuff. We got Metroid Prime 4. We waited a really long time for this, and I'm actually really excited to play this through. What I have played, it is a very, very pretty game. And keeps the spirit of what made the GameCube one really popular. So I'm excited to see where this goes, what the story is. I do wonder who designed the doors and why they felt the need to make them look like that. It's going to help some people with sex ed in the future. Just saying. Anyways, next up, for the Switch 2 still. This was a birthday present for me, but Pokemon ZA Legends, the Switch 2 edition, of course. I don't hate it, but I still am of the impression that Nintendo can do better. Playing the Switch 2 version, very playable, very enjoyable. Some things that it kind of feels like oversimplified. It's taking some of the fun out of it, but I don't hate it. I do like it. It is actually quite enjoyable. And just a sec here. One of our pickups is technically on. Two of them are technically on computer-based platforms. Plus, I want to share all the other cool stuff we got on those. Alright, we're cool. We're ready. So we'll keep it going. So yeah, ZA Legends, not a bad game, but a little on the easy side and not their best. Just being honest here. Age of Imprisonment, the next Hyrule Warrior game, and I am excited to play the hell out of this. I'm actually using the Switch 2 to play this game, the first one, and actually finish it because it plays like an actual. It's far more playable on the Switch 2 version, or not even the version, but the Switch 2 plays Age of Calamity so much better. And that is disappointing because the Switch 1 is a great console. It's just kind of got played to death, So, do we have the Rockstar launcher on here? We do not, but I'll make an honorable mention. But anyways, continuing on, we are moving into some of the Xbox stuff that we found. We got a good deal on Metaphor ReFantazio, and I am all for these turn-based JRPG style games. I'm currently playing Expedition 33, and that game is gorgeous, but Metaphor, it got a lot of praise for being a solid turn-based RPG, and I'm really excited to play it. It's also from Atlas, and those guys really know what they're doing when it comes to the turn-based RPGs. We got a hard copy of Prey. Now, we own this on PC, but I really wanted a copy of this for the Xbox. I wanted a copy of this for a really long time, and I finally got an opportunity to get it through a different bundle that I bought, and it just happened to come with it. So I'm like, heck yeah, I get a game that I really wanted. It even has some codes with it, but I don't know if they've been used. We'll find out. Continuing on, State of Decay. Now, this is the first one, but this is the one with all the extra updates and gameplay enhancements. So I'm actually really excited to play this because I really like the second one. And I feel like these kind of like open worlds, almost like, scour and survive. And, I get good at them and I enjoy them. And it had a kind of a Last of Us almost mechanic for the weapons, and I thought that was kind of fun. Like, this probably won't be a long video, guys. I'm just letting you know. Like, we didn't have a whole ton to throw up there. The PC and the Xbox library stuff is probably going to take up even a good chunk of this. Next up, Midnight Club 2 for the PlayStation 2. Now, I'm going to probably backtrack a tiny bit just so I can make sure you know where all of these came from. Because if you are like, where are you finding all these? I want to make sure that, you you can go looking for them too. So, Age of Imprisonment, this was an Amazon purchase. Alongside Metroid Prime 4. Both of them were in the same order, so I was really happy to be able to order those and have them very quickly. ZA Legends, I have, because of when it came out, which was right around my birthday, my fiance got it used on Marketplace, so just to make sure that I could still get something, because it was the only, I did not have a big birthday list. State of Decay comes from Level Up. That's in a local game store that we have here. You can find them on eBay, and they actually do ship and stuff. Prey is, I bought it off a private seller with a bundle of games. Actually, no. I had, my son's Xbox was having issues with its internet connection, so we thought maybe a different Xbox. So somebody was giving away an Xbox One, just a first generation, on Marketplace. So I took them up on it, picked it up. Didn't solve the problem, but they came with a couple of games that I actually wanted. So Metaphor was GameStop. You can see by the stickers. Or I guess, as Canada will be lovingly referring to again, is, what's it called? EB Games. Kind of excited to see that come back. Yeah, so Midnight Club is a Level Up special as well. Again, they ship. You want to check them out? Go check them out. We got a hold of Dragon Ball Z Sagas, again for the PlayStation 2, and from Level Up as well. Kind of stoked to have this here. Really am. I really enjoy that style of Dragon Ball game. There's some open world to it, but then you get into the fights, and it feels like the Budokai and those kinds of games. But then, one of the games I got to finish is Kakarot, because that is actually a lot of fun, and it follows the story almost perfectly. We're down to the PS5 games. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. We just did a stream for the campaign for this. Played it start to finish within like a day or two. We'll be porting that over to our YouTube channel pretty quick here, so you guys can actually go check that out. One of the games that I don't have to go super far up to get is, and I just did the campaign for this one, Battlefield 6. I am going to tell you, go play that campaign. Don't sleep on the multiplayer. Never sleep on Battlefield multiplayer, because it kind of feels like it used to. We're getting what we used to get out of it, but go play that game for the campaign, because it is actually a really solid campaign. It kind of has some elements of like what Advanced Warfare had for it with the private military corporations, but one specific one causing a lot of problems for the US and other countries. Really fun. The last game for the PS5, which is not down here with me, is Ghost of Yote. So I'm actually working through the tail end of Ghost of Tsushima, and so that way I can actually play them. I don't know if I necessarily need to play that one, but it just would feel wrong to play the second one before the first one. But continuing on from that, oh, it's a tunnel of doom. Okay, we're just bring this down here so you guys can see some stuff, some cool stuff. Whoa. So our games that we most recently played. So we got Terminator 2D No Fate, which is basically, I feel like this is the movie game that we should have gotten back in the day, but obviously, tech wasn't the same, audio wasn't as good. Like, the soundtrack was absolutely amazing, and it just played like an old school game, and with the no fate component of it, where you do get to make some choices throughout the game, it is actually just a straight up blast. It was a lot of fun, and I really recommend it if you like arcade shooters. You won't regret it. And the Terminator missions are very entertaining, and you get more of them the more you play. So, fun fact is that. Home. Recently, we actually picked up Max Payne and Max Payne 2. And I'm not going to download and install the launcher just to show you, but Max Payne 3. So we got the whole trilogy on PC, so we can play them on keyboard and mouse. But also, importantly, is that on the third one, I can play it on my MSI Claw 8. And it plays perfectly. And it even played really well on a ROG Ally. We have... Skip past it entirely. Actually, there's a couple options. There's a couple things that are also new. We actually bought Dead Space 3 because we haven't finished it yet. Obviously, it has been complained about ad nauseum by a lot of people. Starship Troopers Extermination. I'm excited to play this because, I mean, I really like, Helldivers and, the other Starship Trooper game. I think it's Terran Command, where it's an RTS instead. I love these type of movie tie-ins that actually, movie book tie-ins, I guess, because it was a book first. Just the type of movies that they come from is like, it's kind of cool that they've created this cult following that started, like, they had one decent movie in the very beginning with a wicked cast, then a couple, like, spin-off, or straight to DVDs, and then it's still going strong, and we're still getting new games and stuff. We got Chrono Trigger. That's the classic Chrono Trigger game we all know and love, and it was on the PS1 and NES as well, I believe, were the first two systems it were on. And I am excited to actually play this on PC. Obviously, with the MSI Claw, it has opened up a whole new world for me for the Claw 8. And I will be doing a review on it so you guys can see what you're in for, because I've reviewed the Claw, the 7. I've reviewed the ROG Ally. I don't even know if I reviewed the ROG Ally. I did have it, and I did review it for myself, but I don't know if I actually did a video on it. So this is what I've been, detached from YouTube for. This is what I miss. We got Duke Nukem 3D World Tour. And this is the anniversary edition, so I'm actually pretty excited to play this. Then we got Lost Planet. So we got a couple classics. Cassette Beasts. We got a Humble Bundle that came with that. Temtem, which we have on PS5. It's Pokemon clone in the finest order. And Supreme Commander, the first one. Just think that's all for our Steam games. And then Fable, The Lost Chapters. Now, unfortunately, it does not have controller support, so I'm probably just going to be playing the emulator version. But it's so... I love Fable. It's such a good game. It's the one in the series that I have not finished. So, kind of cutting over to our Xbox stuff. We got Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is what I mentioned in one of our Beat It games for last year, and it is a ton of fun. It is just it's a straight up 90s beat 'em up. It is a blast to play. I played it from start to finish. You can see you got about 8 hours on it on the Xbox version, and I mean, I bought it to test an issue with my Series S and ended up just finishing it because it's just such a good game. They did a really good job, and these, I believe, are the same people that were responsible for Scott Pilgrim, and not Ubisoft as the publisher, but everything else, like Tribute.emu, and I think they were also part of the Streets of Rage 4 game that I beat last year. So these games are just awesome. Currently, we're working on a bunch of new beat-its for this year. We already finished Battlefield 6, and that's why I'm saying, go play the campaign. Yeah. And then, of course, Max Payne 3, which is on a different platform, so it's not going to show here. But I've been playing through that, and I can see where GTA 5 got its shooting system from. And I'm actually pretty impressed that they adapted it so well. Obviously, you don't get the slow-mo or the diving back and forth, but it is still really cool to see that dot shooter show up in that. Because, I mean, it really was, you get a headshot with that, you feel, powerful. So, anyways, thanks for checking out the Stream Space, guys. Thanks for checking out our gaming pickup video to end 2025. And I'm looking forward to doing more of this stuff with you guys. So upcoming this week, we have tomorrow where we'll be streaming some Doom the Dark Ages, and then after that we will be playing. We'll be taking a 1-day break so we can record our next Final Fantasy VII video. We have not done one in a long time, but I'm excited to dive back into playing that classic and maybe actually coming to the end of it, because I've never actually finished the original Final Fantasy VII, especially with Part 3 of Remake coming out soon in the next year or so. I want to make sure I'm ready for it so I can actually properly compare the stories. Criticize, no. Compare, yes. So a couple different ways you can support our channel, like, follow, subscribe, you know, all that. But don't forget to also go check out some of our other cool things. So go check out Debbie.gg. They make energy drinks. You get a premix one. I believe they also now have a canned version as well. They have tumblers, hats, like sweaters, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. If you use creator code Pidera74, you'll get a 20% discount, and I get a cut of the order. So I make a little bit of money, you get a good thing to drink, and everybody wins. Next up is our eBay page, which is through our business, which is ebay.ca/SV Retrotech. Now, that is something that I run through my small business as like a side venture. However, this year we may be completely rebranding from an IT company to a game console repair service. If we do start posting some more videos online for this kind of stuff, you'll know that's the route we're going, and we will even be offering mail-in service for game console repair. So if you got a Switch with a problem or a PS5 that's got the dreaded HDMI port failure, you know what? We'll help you out. We'll try and give you a deal. Maybe sponsor if you let us feature your console in a repair video and something like that. You know, we'll share the wealth that way. Last one, and the most direct one, is of course through our tipping link through the Streamlabs. You can throw something in there, and we'll make sure if you do that you get a shout out and a say in some future content. Thanks for checking out the stream space, guys. I'm really hoping that we can make this year, I don't want to say our year because I don't think that any year belongs to any one person, but to not have the kind of year we had last year, because last year was bad. It was another year of losing a vehicle, changing homes, and I just don't want to do that anymore. And that has been taking a lot of energy out of me. There's been no court. That's been nice. Don't have to fight with the court system to keep my kid in my house because just he lives here and that's just how it is. And, you know, just there's so much that just didn't go right last year. So much loss. And over the last 2.5 years, it's been a journey. You know, we lost somebody we were mentoring. That was like losing a kid, honestly. I think that's what the grief is equivalent to. Lost a best friend. Somebody thought it was my best friend. Turned out not so much. All over $308. And if they're watching, I mean, I'm disappointed that that's all it took. And I really hope that someday maybe we can kind of make that right, because obviously that wasn't cool. Kind of pouring my heart into this one at the end here, guys, because I just want you to understand why we haven't been online as much as we normally would be. And following that, you know, having to lose a cousin, and then lose a parent, and then lose a house, and then move, and then stay somewhere where you're not liked or appreciated or even, like, barely tolerated at that point, all over silly things that are arbitrary, like neighbors creating fights over things like parking and that just aren't their business, and that they have no say over in the first place. You know, all those things that contributed to 2024 really not being great. You know, starting 2024 by moving into a house that was a nightmare to live in. It was just problem after problem after problem after problem, and losing more friends along the way. People who were newer in my life, but also I thought that they were my friend and they supported me, and it just turned out not to be the case. losing another vehicle, 2 vehicles in as many years. One, I can own that I screwed up on. The other, I paid it. I paid for it, and I lost it anyways. And it's not like a small amount of money. It was over $3,500. So I now have a new vehicle. I am happy with it. I have no interest in getting a new one. I have lots of stuff going on for business. I have a day contract that's actually helping kind of fund a lot of stuff right now and pay for things, and get some debts cleared up, and like things are maybe teasing me about turning around, and I hope that I'm valuable enough to this place that I'm doing some work for that they'll keep me around so that I can continue to make the money that I'm making right now and continue to improve my life for myself and my family. But anyways, that's kind of where we are right now. That's why things have been so intermittent in terms of like our streaming system. Why we haven't been following our old schedules or anything like that. We haven't really had the money to buy a ton of games, but we also haven't had the motivation or the energy to really do it. So here's hoping that 2026 is a year of fresh video content that you guys can really bite into, and let's keep gaming, guys. That's the fun. That's the thing that we get to hang on to when the rest of the world is falling apart. We get to play cool games and experience amazing stories and enjoy the people's hard work that made these games, because this is not an easy thing. My fiance is a game developer, and she's got several game projects on the go, one of which I am going to be streaming after we work a few things out with it, but it's called The Hippo, and it's based on these house hippo ads that played in Canada that I'm not really 100% sure. I think it was kind of all about not believing everything you see on TV and stuff, but like playing that, and I got jump scared in it real bad last time I played it, and I was like, damn, this is gonna do its job. I feel like this could be one of her most popular games, so I'm hoping she really digs in and finishes it. But anyways, we're gonna punch off. Thank you for checking out this video, guys, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. And yeah, we'll see you guys later in the week. We're gonna have a good time. Expect that our new videos for Doom and Call of Duty Black Ops campaign will be live within the next couple days. And we'll be live streaming Doom the Dark Ages for probably what I hope is the grand finale, because I think we're actually at the end of the game. Check it out, guys. I'll catch you then.